Hey everybody, it is Deanna with toolsofenergyprotection.com, your energy shift expert and Akashic Records advisor. How's everybody doing tonight? Wow. I really am not even sure what to say at this point. I knew there was going to be a lot of stuff happening in our world. I knew there was going to be a lot of things changing. Just in a tremendous amount of child labor pains, if you will. And I have a lot to talk about tonight. As you notice, if you follow me regularly, I've been keeping these things shorter and shorter so more people will watch them. And tonight there's a lot to share. So basically, here's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to do the best I can to talk to you about what's happening with the psychic attacks. I did one last week that it was just going to be a one and done. But no, there is a lot of stuff going on. And so I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk a little bit about how you can shield yourself. And then I'm going to share with you what I'm actually seeing in real time. And I'm actually going to share with you what I'm finding going on this planet. I spent some time today talking to, the boss, connecting in with the universal consciousness, the heartbeat of the earth, and my guides. And I'm going to try not to lose it tonight because I just want to cry. So it's really a challenging time because there's part of me that wants to cry and there's part of me that wants to go, woohoo, let's go. So I love you all. Thank you so much for hanging with me. If you find any of this to be of help or assistance to you, please share the video. Please share the video. Please share the video. This message has to get out to as many people as possible, and I will share with you why in just a few moments. As all of you know, I am a dowser. That means that I use a pendulum to intuit, so I can get numbers and very fine details when I can't sometimes hear them from my guides succinctly. And I'm still kind of in shock of what I found out today. And then I did a lot of meditating and a lot of centering and grounding to make sure that the information I am getting ready to share with you is exact. So it's exact as I can get it. If you've ever worked with intuitives or you are an intuitive, you know that we're not always 100% accurate 100% of the time, but 80% is my constant record. So here goes. If you have any questions, you can share them down here in the feed, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook Live or Facebook, after that, I'll do the best I can to get to them. I wanted to let you know that after last Tuesday's transmission, I did invite people that if they were having large amounts of fatigue to get back to me, just email me and I'll try to help you out. And I love you all so much. And the response was greater than I thought it was going to be. So if you're one of those, I humbly apologize that I did not get back to you lickety split. Some of you still may be waiting and sent me an email. So if you're seeing this, instead of waiting on the email, I'm going to give you another option for me to help you. So just hang in there. It's something I created today, managed to get everything programmed and loaded and the buttons up so that you can participate with us on toolsofenergyprotection.com. I limited the number of things on the toolbar so it's easy to find because I know people are stressed out and it'll make it a little easier. All right, here we go. So what I was telling you on the advertisement to get you in here is psychic attack, what's going on? So how many of you out there feel like since last week or maybe before you were experiencing some of the symptoms of psychic attack? Give me a thumbs up, a smiley face. If you're on YouTube later, give me a thumbs up and let me know that you're asking what the schmeg is going on this crazy planet. How come I feel the way I do? How come I feel more anxious than I normally do? How come my depression is really coming back stronger than it ever has? What is going on? And there's more than one thing going on. I wish we lived in a black and white world, whether, it's either one way or the other, or a light switch, it's one way or the other. But there are so many things going on because, ladies and gentlemen, we are literally in a battle right now for our souls, not our physical bodies, but our souls, which happen to be attached to the physical body. And so there's a large scale war going on this planet in a fight for control of your soul and your mind. And they are attacking us, and they're attacking us in a way that we aren't even aware of. And last week I did this broadcast, and a couple nights later, like 4 o'clock in the morning, I woke up and I could hear a transmission coming to me in a very subdued, loving voice, almost a subconscious thing, like if you want to quit smoking or you want to lose weight and you put those little earphones on and they give you a message and it you fall asleep to it, one of those. It was a very clear message telling me what I should believe. And now I didn't get the whole message because it shocked me so much that I lost my focus and concentration at that frequency level. There's many different levels that you can tune into. So I'm sorry I didn't get that quite, but I know it's there. It shocked me. It's something that I experienced like 7-8 years ago and thought they weren't, not much of it, like they weren't really doing it too much anymore. And silly me, naivete, I want to think the best about everybody. So please, if anybody out there is feeling a large amount of fatigue, a lot of anxiety, I call it an anxiety extravaganza, you feel a loss of connection with God's spirit, source of your guides. I've had so many people saying, I can't hear my guides anymore. I can't talk to my angels anymore. Well, not that they can't speak to them, but they don't talk back or get signs or think they get signs. How many of you out there are feeling that? I'm going to look down here in the Facebook feed. Just give me a thumbs up. Let me know this is you, because I'm going on, I'm going to go on and tell you some more. So let me know, please. Thumbs ups in the Facebook feed, so I know that I'm on the right channel, so that I know you're with me and you're listening. Just there. Okay, good. I'm seeing some thumbs up, there we go, some hearts. Okay, great. Hearts, angry faces, anything you got. Let's get this out there. So here's the deal. I'm about to tell you again, I feel like this is going to become my new theme. I'm about to tell you something very shocking. And again, I really hope this video stays up, because sometimes the ambiguous they will filter through with their little robots, on the computers, and they pick out different things because it's a keyword of some sort. And they black, or what is it, whitelist you or something, where you go across, you see somebody's picture and the white films all over it and you can't access things. So we're going to hope that doesn't happen. All right, here we go. So if you're not tuned in already and you're like, let her get to the point, here it is now, here we go. Okay, so what's happening is there is something that was invented by Nikola Tesla that the ambiguous they has access to, and it looks like a dish. When we used to have Dish Network, I don't know if some people have that, and there's a little dish on top of your house and it would receive information. Well, something has to send that information. So I'd like for you to think about the fact that you may be on your cell phone right now receiving this transmission, you're not plugged in anywhere, or you listen to the radio in your car and you can't see the waves of information coming in, but just magically your radio picks up a signal and transmits it into something that you can hear and listen and enjoy. Think about all the signals that are going out, Wi-Fi and everything else. Well, the ambiguous they has a way of recording different sounds, different frequencies, and apparently now different subliminal messages in voice. And they send them out to different levels of awareness. And so most of you will be familiar with the incarnate in the body, third dimension, mind, your conscious and your subconscious mind. Most of us are familiar with that. And then there's something called a universal consciousness, which means that every man, woman, and child drawing a breath on this planet, their thoughts, feelings, and emotions go up to a level called universal consciousness. So we all feed into that consciousness, and then the consciousness, it's two-way. We feed into it, and then it can send us signals down. And that's like if you go to a stadium. Oh, I'm so cold right now doing this broadcast. There's so much truth in this that I'm getting cold chills. I usually get cold chills when I'm talking the truth. That's the divine's way of letting me know that I'm spot on. And I am freezing right now in my office, and it's not really that cold in here. So sorry for that little interlude. Anyway, let's see here. Okay, so anyway, I'll look at the feed and say hi to you all in a minute. Where was I? Okay, so there's different levels of consciousness, and if you can only identify with your physical body consciousness, and then there's a universal consciousness, and the way you can know that these are real is if you've ever been to a sporting event, if you've ever been to an entertainment event, and people, will do what they call the waves. So one person stands up and puts their arms like this, and then they sit down, and then the next person does it, and it goes all the way around the stadium. That's a way to think about universal consciousness. Or if you've ever been to a game, as you all know, I love hockey games, and you go to the hockey game, and most everybody in the stadium in your home ice is part of your group, and you're all yelling and screaming, and you're one with everybody else because you're hollering for your team. And then every once in a while, you notice that there's some other people that are hollering for the other team, which seems kind of weird. But that's how universal consciousness works. It's everybody, on the same page, on the same frequency, on the same team, so to speak. And they're sending energy out, and other people are catching that energy and they're joining it. And so that's what we have for 2 levels of consciousness. Now, what's happening? The ambiguous they has, as I've experienced, been able to come up with a frequency that will tap into your subconscious mind. At what level, I don't know yet, because this just happened and I'm still researching it. But they tapped into my subconscious, and it's a broadcast. It's not just me. It's to the area that I live in. And it came through to me when I was at a very high level of consciousness, and I'm waking up, and as I'm coming back down, I hit that level. And when I hit that level, I heard a woman, speaking to me, and in a very nice, low, beautiful tone that sounded much like the tapes that you listen to when you listen to them all night because you want to quit smoking or lose weight or something like that. And there's a beautiful voice, very low tone, and she talks very monotone. And that's what I heard. And I didn't hear enough of it to get the gist of what she was saying, because it shocked me. You're not expecting it. It's like, going to your front door to go outside, and you open it and there's somebody standing there. It's a little shocking, But what I did learn is that is going on. Different messages, different parts of the country, and we're hearing them in our sleep, and we're not even aware that we are being programmed. Scary. And I really didn't want to share that at all. However, I know that if I'm getting that information, and given the job that I have, it's my duty, although scary, to transmit it to all of you and let you know what's happening. And that's why I took a lot of time today to stop what I was doing, meditate, talk to God's spirit source to make sure this was the right move, because it's a lot to process. So if you're going with me the live, the Facebook, I am seeing the thumbs up and the smiley faces and everything. And if you all would just let me know that this is of value to you, and I will continue with the rest of it. If you're aligned with it, attuned with it, if it's of value, please, please give me a thumbs up or heart. And, if not, I'll just close it out here, because the rest of it really wouldn't be worth talking about. Okay. Okay, good. I've got a few of you giving me thumbs up and hearts. Thank you for that. I just, like I said, it's challenging to come out with this. So Thank you for your feedback. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so when I signed up for this job, I didn't know it was going to be this challenging. God, spirit source is like, hey, you want to go down to this planet, help these people out? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Oh, who knew? Anyway. Okay, so here you go. Oh goodness, somebody's gonna watch this video one day and go, look at that net. Oh, we gotta laugh. Oh, schmeg. Okay, here we go. So I would never make it as a news anchor. Okay, so here we go. Woo, take two. All right. You know what I need for Christmas? One of those little take things. Somebody can send me that. So anyways. Oh gosh, here we go. So I do know that we are being mentally programmed through social media, news broadcasts, different TV events where stuff happens that you're like, was that real or staged, and so everything that you take into your mind, everything, whether you're listening to it or watching it, be careful from now on. Screen what you're watching. If it doesn't resonate with you, turn it off, because there's just so much going on so many different levels. All right. So today I ask the boss, the spirit, why is it that so many people have anxiety and fatigue right now, especially those of us that are light workers, empaths, star seeds, highly sensitive people? How come we are getting this feeling of depression and renewed anxiety and the anxiety extravaganza? A lot of us have worked through so much of our shadow selves. If you remember 2 years ago, I was talking about work through your shadow self, and so many people were doing it and feeling better. And yes, I realize the world scene is a little funky right now, and that could cause it, but this is different. This is like, I'm going to say it, this is a sucker punch. And for those of you that didn't grow up in my generation, if you were out on the playground and somebody came up from behind you and you didn't see them and they reached around and smacked you in the face, that's what they called a sucker punch, because you were a sucker because you didn't know somebody was coming up behind you. Okay? But to me, a sucker punch is somebody who delivers a blow to another individual who's not expecting it, whose heart is open, who's shedding the light and the love to everyone while they're living in this shit show that we're currently involved in the 3D world. And they come up somewhere where you're not expecting it, which is of course what you do when you attack an enemy. And they're pegging you in a place you don't even know about. Now, maybe some of you do, because I don't know all of my audience as light workers. I know we have different degrees of learning in this audience. Some people just waking up, others of you really accelerated. But I'm going to go with the majority of you have no idea the levels of consciousness that they are attacking you at. And it has nothing to do with your eyeballs, and it has nothing to do with your physical brain. It's at a frequency that's higher than that. And they're finding a way to send out this signal, and it's monkeying, if you will. And I don't mean to pick on monkeys because they're beautiful little creatures and some of them are big, but they are monkeying with your spiritual consciousness, your soul. And they're doing it quite effectively because, like I told you, I just was like, wow, okay, this is happening a couple nights ago. I've felt and seen broadcasts like that years ago, but they were usually just political messages about vote for me at this weird frequency that, you know, people didn't have access to readily through, you know, an electronic device. But this was a blatant message to try to control my feelings and my behavior in the human body. So I asked, you know, Spirit, I said, what is it? What is it that they're broadcasting? You know, where is it sticking, if you will? And what I was told is that it's a fungus. How many of you out there understand what a fungus is on the 3D world playing ground? If you can give me a thumbs up, let me know what a fungus is, or if you know what a fungus is by giving me a thumbs up in the 3D world. If you're watching the replay, you can do that too. So I don't know how many science geeks we have. Okay, a couple of you. All right, I'm going to explain it to you then. So a fungus is generally when something is introduced to the body to cause the body to be off balance. The off balance will then allow an organism to grow that it wouldn't otherwise. So the fungus that I'm familiar with, that most people would understand, is the fungus that you get called athlete's foot. And I used to think when I was younger, I did swimming and, you know, you're running around with bare feet, and I got it a couple times. And I used to think that fungus was something that I picked up off of the floor, you know, when I was doing swimming. But in recent years, what I found out is when your body is out of alkaline, when it has too much acid in it or it's very acidic, then the body's chemistry is aimed in such a way that if you pick up an organism, that it will cause the body to create athlete's foot. That's my limited understanding. Now, for those of you that are doctors and, you know, healers at that orient, you might go, okay, Deanna, nope, that's not right. Well, that's my understanding. But what I'm saying is that the fungus can't take root unless the body is out of alignment. So in this case, you know, for me, I ate a lot of beef. I drank a lot of coffee. That's very acidic. It causes your alkalinity to be off balance in your body. And a body that's in alkaline doesn't really support disease, but it's got to be in alkaline a lot and not just, you know, every once in a while. So I ask my guides and spirit what's going on. And what I was told is that there is a fungus at a higher level, okay? Between your physical body and your connection to the divine. If you imagine a harp, you know, a harp on top of your head with all these strings going up, connecting to the divine. And there's a fungus on some of those that is affecting your mental energy. And I said, okay, well, if that fungus is affecting light workers, empaths, star seeds, highly sensitive people, you know, what does that look like in the 3D world? You know, it's blocking the mental energy, your ability to think, your ability to reason, your ability to know that even though what's going on in this world is you know, a fluctuation like we've never seen before, that there's a solidness in you and you can make decisions for yourself and you can make them step by step without fear. And there's a fungus on that. And if you've ever had athlete's foot, you know that fungus creates cracks in between your toes and leaves you susceptible to all kinds of things. It's itchy too. And that gunk, that fungus, I asked, well, what is it blocking? What's the gunk blocking? And I was told oneness with God, spirit, or source. blocks to God, spirit, or source. So for those of you that are empaths, starseeds, highly sensitive people, light workers, no matter what you call the divine, God, spirit, source, holy other, universe, if you are disconnected from that, that's like blood spilling out of a human body. When the blood's inside, it's little, it's an organism and it's doing its job. And yes, I understand blood cells die and new ones are made, but I'm talking about, the ones that are in your body right now, they're all happy and they're doing their thing. But if you cut yourself for some reason, a whole bunch of that blood, depending on how bad you cut yourself, comes out. And it doesn't ever go back in the body, ever. It is dead. It is depleted. And what I'm telling you is this fungus is causing a wound in light workers, and our energy, our mental energy is being drained out like that blood. And you have got to stop the drain. You got to put on the tourniquet. You got to heal yourself now. Now. Because it's only going to get worse from here for a while. This road that we're on is going to be rocky, and it's going to be ups and it's going to be downs, and there'll be times you feel good, and in the end the good guys and gals win, yay. But right now it's not good. And there's a fungus sorry, among us. A little comedy in each and every show. That's why I said I'd never make it as a news anchor. But there's a fungus among us. Oh my goodness. Anyway, okay. Oh, maybe I get my assistant to clip this into 20 seconds so you don't do all this. But anyway, so the fungus is being sent out in frequency, and it is blocking our mental energy. And then there's a gunk or fungus that's blocking our oneness from spirit, with spirit or God. So it's a frequency literally blocking you. So if you're having trouble connecting with your guides too, if it's like, well, I used to talk to my guides all the time, and then they'd send me signs, and now I don't feel like they can hear me, or I can't hear them, or I can't see them, whatever your gift is. That's why. Because the transmission, if you will, is being interrupted. It's like being on your cell phone and you're, somewhere where the signal just gives you every other word, and it's irritating and you can't hear what the other person is saying. The other thing that they're doing is putting out a gunk that's blocking us from grounding. I tend to be too top heavy. So I'm more connected to God's spirit source and playing in this world up here, and paying less attention to being in the human body. The human body is important because it supports being in the 3D world. And so a lot of the light workers that were just learning how to be in body and be present are now having trouble making that connection back to their own bodies and taking care of themselves. You know who you are. Anyway, it's just staggering. The good news is that God's spirit source loves you, and there is nothing greater than the light. I just got cold chills again. There is nothing greater than the light. Nothing. Just remember that as we go through these times. So before I get to the last bit of information that I have been moved to share with you, although scary for me, I wanted to let you know that a number of years ago, I did an online event of a room of comfort and healing for light workers. And I did it years ago as a free event, and people turned up and thought it was great and encouraged me to do it again. And as you know, I've been churning out a lot of other stuff, and I'm just, haven't had a moment to squeeze anything else in. But I know that it's time for everyone to come together again. So if you go to toolsofenergyprotection.com, I cleared out the menu, so there's only a few things on it, and it says Room of Comfort for Light Workers. Click on that, and it will give you the details of what we're going to do and how long it's going to take. And because I have so many clients across the US and a few overseas, I'm going to do this on the Zoom platform. I would love to have you all come to my office and scrunch in and, sit on a big comfy pillow and do this together. But right now, it's more about the more people we can get to come and the more people we can heal, the better off we will be as light workers. And I'm going to share these staggering numbers with you that I learned today. I checked them numerous times just to be sure that I absolutely had them right. And the numbers kept changing. And I'm like, why are the numbers changing? First it was really big and then got smaller. And they said it, the guide said it depends on where you live on the globe as to which population you're looking at. And there's 3 different things that are being put into our consciousness, especially those of us that are light workers. And it depended on, was I looking at thing 1, thing 2, thing 1 and 2, thing 3 and 4, what was I looking at? So I finally got them to give me a number that I could wrap my head around and share with all of you. And it's a lot. So here goes. So I looked on the internet today because I wanted to know at the current moment how many people they estimated, how many souls anchored in bodies on this planet. And what I got today was 7.753 billion people currently drawing a breath on this planet. They were talking about different, adding so many every day. So that's a lot of souls, a lot of people that came here to watch the birth of a new age, to share in this beautiful event. Yes, I said beautiful. It is gorgeous right now what we're in. Absolutely beautiful. The birthing and rebirthing of this planet and its future and its consciousness. And I could get off into a whole conversation about that. But what was staggering to me, and I just get cold chills. That's how I know this is true. That out of the 7.753 billion people on this planet, 12% of the population is being affected. 12%. And I'm not a numbers woman, so if you want to crunch the numbers, good. I tried, a little bit overwhelming. Anyway, there are light workers on this planet, lots of them. I don't know what percent of the population, I didn't ask. But I did ask how many people right now are feeling that mental fungus and bacteria that I was talking about. How many humans on this planet are feeling the fungus, the mental bacteria issue? And out of 7.753 billion people, the number I got earlier today was 86,712,061 people are feeling this way, are affected by this fungus that's being put out at a higher level consciousness. staggering. $86,712,061 people have been affected by the transmissions, by the ambiguous they at an energetic level that affects the mental body. It acts like a fungus, so if you're weak, it's going to take root. It affects the physical energy. It drives depression, fear, anxiety, phobia. So for those of you who've been working on yourselves for a long time, and you thought you were doing way better and had a lot of things licked and getting ready for the new level, you got slimed. And that's why you're feeling this way. Please don't blame yourself. If you're standing in the rain, you're going to get wet. Even me. Because I spent part of the day clearing myself from all of this. And you would think I would be aware and could see it coming. Oh, look, here it comes. Nope. Much to my chagrin, but you know, like I said, if you're standing in the rain, you're going to get wet. So I'm going to take a breath because this is a lot. And I'm going to ask those of you that are on the live to send a little love. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. Let me pull this up for you all so you can see it. Okay, here we go. I'm going to share my screen and show you all what am I doing. Oh, maybe I can't share that. I can share that one. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me open the screen a little bit bigger. It's a lot. You know, sometimes I wonder if some of the world's greatest military leaders ever shed tears when nobody was looking. Anyway, okay. So here's the room of comfort and healing for all light workers, empaths, highly sensitive people, and star seeds. If you're just waking up and you don't know who the schmeg you are, but you're feeling it, come on. April 16th, 2022. I'm doing the best I can to accommodate everybody that lives in my time zone and the Eastern Seaboard and a few people overseas. So although it's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, we're going to do this at 8 o'clock Saturday morning, April the 16th. You know, I usually don't get up before God does, but on this day, we're going to have to. Anyway, so April 16th, 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And what we're going to do on this is we're going to shield your energy from psychic attack. We are going to do an energy cleansing meditation. For those of you that are not really super good at meditation, don't worry about it. When you're with me, you're in the vibration and you will receive all of the yummy energy and clearing and healing when we're doing this meditation. So don't worry about if you have shiny object syndrome, you're going to be okay. Just come on. And then we're all going to breathe, center, you know, and be uplifted from the comfort of your own home. So for those of you that are scared to get out or you can't get out for whatever reason, then there you've got that. You can come. So I do have an early bird registration price on here. Please understand that I would do the healing room for free. However, it takes so much energy to prepare it, get it going, and then hold the space for all of you. So I'm asking for a very small energy exchange price back. And that's what's on there. When you come, it will be on a Zoom platform. So when you register, you will get a link to come. Make sure you know how to get on Zoom and turn your camera off and put yourself on mute. Wear comfy clothes. It's going to be about 60 minutes, and we're going to take a few breaks in between because I know people need that. And I will record this as we're doing it. That's so you will have 30 days. I'll put the event link up after it's over, and you'll have 30 days to download it and save it. So if you want to save the meditation and reconnect with it, then you'll have it as a tool. And in order for me to preserve the integrity of how many people get on and the bandwidth and all that, I can only allow so many people on, and then I will close the registration. And it is going to be on April the 16th. I'm going to go ahead and stop the share for a moment. And people have asked me, they're like, okay, well, you know, how come you're taking so long to do this event? You know, why can't you do it tomorrow? Love you all. April the 16th is actually going to be a full moon. So I did ask my guides, you know, what would be the best, and that's what they said would be the best. Hang on a sec. My computer is telling me it's hungry, so I got to feed it. Hang on. Hopefully this will feed it. There we go. Good. Sorry for all the wiggly. Anyway, what we're going to do is there's a shield that was not discovered by me, but I discovered the person who did it. You know, I discovered their work. And it's a shield that goes onto all levels, layers, dimensions, and realities, and gives you kind of the windshield effect. So, you know, like I said, if you stand in the rain, you're going to get wet. In a car, you have a windshield, and the rain is on the outside of it, which keeps you from getting wet. But please know that even with this shield, when you're driving, and you know, I live in Colorado, so sometimes we get snow, and it'll be snowing so hard your windshield wipers can't keep up with it, but the snow is still on the outside of the car. So what I'm saying is, even with the shields, it's going to get a little messy, people. But my promise to you is, you come, it's one ticket per person. You know, please don't share them, and come and let me share my time with you. I'm going to upgrade your shields, and it will be it'll be congruent. It'll be, my guides just said that some people already have shields in place and they're afraid to come to me because they're afraid my shield's going to mess up their shield. No. This one is going to be at such a high level frequency that yours will be a second and third tier to the shielding. It'll be inside of that shielding. And you'll just think about it. Ask yourself if this is really something that you would like to do. I cannot guarantee you that you'll be less fatigued. I cannot guarantee you that your anxiety will go down. But what I can tell you is, if you come to this with an open heart, you will receive more energy healing, more energy clearing, more love, more peace, and more centered. And who knows, you might even be healed. But that's up to you and your openness to the divine, because I will call in different angels and the white light healing technology beings to help us all. And as long as you have an open heart, you will feel it. And that's it. And I appreciate you allowing me to take the time to develop it. And like I said, once you get it, you get a recording, and then you'll have it, you know, if you download it within 30 days, you'll have it forever, and you can put it on your iPad, your iPod, whatever it is you do. I can't keep up with technology. It's too fast these days. So if you have a question, please put it in the feed. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, go ahead and put it in the below in the comments. If you're watching the Facebook, no, hang on a second, there we go. If you're watching the Facebook, you know, later, put it on there too. Please remember, if you'd like to get a 20-minute free reading, I have another week that I am asking people to enter. And so what this is, and I do apologize, I did not put up all the contest rules yet, but I will get that up there. So much going on. Last Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the bookstore at For Heaven's Sakes, I saw people from the time I got there until the time I left, and it was just one after the next person. There's so many of you that need help, and that's why I appreciate your patience and me posting things, because this job can be very exhausting and very draining, although I love it, but I do have to rest. So anyway, I digress. So what I'd like for you to do, if you want to enter the contest, I'm going to give away 2 20-minute readings, 2. And I will pick one out, entry before, before this coming up Tuesday, so a week from today, so I can announce it. And all you have to do is go over to YouTube, my YouTube channel. If you don't know where my YouTube channel is, type my name in on YouTube, it'll pop up. If you still can't find it, go to toolsofenergyprotection.com and click on info, and it'll have a link right over there to my YouTube page. Or if you're watching this video on Tools of Energy and you click on it, it'll take you over to YouTube. So you go below this broadcast, or you go to the one before that, any of these videos in the last couple of weeks, and you can put a comment down below and say, I'd like to enter for the free reading, and then ask me a question about your Akashic Records, because I will pick 2 of the most interesting questions about the Akashic Records and do a 20-minute reading. And the way that I will contact you if you're a winner is I'm going to put it in below your comment on YouTube to reach out to me. So you will have to reach out to me, because on YouTube, I don't always have a way to connect with you easily, like an email or something, but I will tell you, and then it'll be up to you to reach out to me and get your free reading. So if that makes sense, you know, that'll be good. All right, so thank you again for your patience. Bravery sometimes isn't easy. Hi to Stephanie, hi to Tammy, hi to Deborah, hi to Karen. Karen, I hope you're doing good. Hi to Chelsea, hi to Danny B. Rosemary, good to see you. Joelle, good to see you. Chelsea, big hugs. Amy, good to see you. We got to get together. Stephanie, good to see you. Let's see here. I think I said hello to Amy. If not, hi to Amy. Hi to Becky, really good to see you. Bellen, nice to see you. Heidi, good to see you. Robin, good to see you. And Polly, hey, Polly, what's happening? Barb, oh, good to see you. Felicia, nice to see you. Let's see here. Again, that's it. Pretty much everybody just coming in again. Oh, hi, Craig. Hi, Craig. How you doing? We got to talk, Craig. I got more info for you. Michelle, let's see here. I think that's it. Asia, good to see you. Sorry if I butchered your name there. Mara, good to see you. So big hugs and kisses, everybody. Please come and join me. If you're like, I can't wait that long, then go to toolsofenergyprotection.com and click on services, and you can book a half-hour appointment with me and we can get you brushed up. Also, the For Heaven's Sakes books in Denver, you can give them a call and get on my books for Thursday. I know I've got like 5 time slots, and like I said last week, they filled up so fast. I have people on a wait list, so make sure you get on. Big hugs and kisses to you all. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Keep the faith, keep going, get up every morning and say, every day in every way, I am happier and happier. Every day in every way, I am healthier and healthier. I am wealthier and wealthier. I am wiser and wiser. I am a sensitive. I am strong. All right. Love ya.